morning, ladybugs. Happy Tuesday. And today we're going to make our Roy Lichtenstein painting. And we talked about him yesterday, if you remember. And I still have my board here with all my big words, okay? And then I thought we could do another activity that we've kind of done before in class. And you guys can do it easily because it's about making dots. But first let's start with our painting, okay? So I have a painting here that I made a while ago when I first started talking about Roy Lichtenstein. And so he made a lot of his paintings with these big words that we see over here. And then remember I talked about how he put his words in bubbles. This one says bang. And then he would draw some squiggly lines, wavy lines around the word, whatever word he chose. And a lot of times he might have like other lines like kind of zooming off of the word, okay? And then the dots, and the dots are a really fun thing that will be easy for us to do. So this word starts with my letter P, and it says pow. And it has, remember what we said this was? An exclamation point. And that means that you kind of say it like pow. Now we don't really know what happened with the pow, why he chose that. Of course, I painted the picture. I guess I could make up anything I want. Let's see, I will think of maybe it's the 4th of July and I was watching a fireworks show, and maybe a big fireworks blasted off, and I could say blast, or I could say pow, or I could say kaboom, or bang. Any of those big words. So you get to choose the word that you would like to do. Okay, so I have these black boards, which I thought were kind of cool, because then I can make my painting. I can kind of put them right here so you can see a little bit better, because I'm going to use white paper. And I'm just going to put them up like that. And then I'm going to put my piece of white paper. You could use any kind of light paper if you want. If your paper's too dark, you're not going to be able to see much of it. So let's see. I think I will do my paper this way. It's a little easier to see. This one I did this pow one here, okay? So probably the best thing is to use a black marker to make your word. You can do it with black paint, but it's kind of tricky with the black paint. And if we were in class, I would be helping each one of you to choose your own big word, and then I would have you write it. I would have it written out so that you could write your own word, okay? What word shall I use today? Maybe I'll use the word kaboom, because we haven't used that yet, okay? So I'm going to write that. I'm going to write that right now. Let's see, kaboom is, and I can write it pretty big or I can write it small. K, and then A, B, O, O, M. And there's my word, kaboom. Can you see that? And then I'm going to put an exclamation point, because kaboom is not a soft sound. It's a loud sound, isn't it? So, all right, so I have my word with my exclamation point. Now I'm going to make kind of like, I think I'll leave this up here for myself too. I'm going to make some like arrows and like a kind of a bubble around my word. So I'm just making some right here, You can make whatever you want. If you just want to make a circle, you can do that. There. See, now you can really see my word kaboom because I put a bunch of arrows and things around it. Okay? All right, and then I think I'll make some lines like I did here. Almost looks like something's pouring out of the POW word, like maybe hot lava. That would be a good thing to make. Like you could make a volcano, and at the top of the volcano you could put your big word like wow, or you could even put lava with an exclamation point. That would be fun. So now I'm going to draw a few lines here, and I'm just going to do a few because I don't want to spend the whole time drawing when you can't see it. Okay, so I just made some lines coming down. We all know how to make lines, right? We're good at that. Okay, so now I don't really need this anymore. I can use it later to make dots if I want, but I can also make dots with the paint. Okay, so I'm going to put this picture over here, and I'm going to put this picture here, and I'm going to move my white paper here, okay? And then now I have to get my paint ready. So I have this plate. Remember how I tried to paint Nathan's flower pot the other day, but I couldn't do it because it was like a shiny surface. Well, this is a shiny surface, which I want because I'm going to put my paint on there, and I don't want it to, I like this plate, so I'm going to be able to wash it after, okay? But if you don't have any paint at home, you could use oil pastels or crayons or markers. Markers are a great tool for this, okay? So I have some, remember I said Roy Lichtenstein liked the primary colors, like yellow and blue and red. Okay, so I'm going to open up my paint. I think Mr. Vince has these colors too. And I haven't used this paint in a while, but I'm going to squeeze it. Oh, I'm going to squeeze it onto there. Can you see it? And then I think I'll put the yellow in the middle. That was red, and then here's some yellow. Oh, do you see that? Kind of looks like mustard and ketchup, doesn't it? All I need is a hot dog. I could paint a hot dog, put mustard and ketchup on it. That's a good idea. All right, and then my last color, blue. Oh, that's a pretty blue. I really like these paints. I've had them for a long time. All right, now I don't really need water with this because remember last week when I did watercolor, but this isn't watercolor. This is real paint. You don't add water to it. I only have the water here because I need to wash the brushes. I only had a couple of brushes that I brought. All right, so I hope you can see this. I think you can. So there's my word kaboom, and now, I can do whatever I want, but I think I'm going to start with my yellow because that way it won't kind of get yucky with that. So let me and I'm just going to fill it in right here. You see that? Fill in the paint. Okay, there we go. I'm going to do it pretty quickly so that we can get on to the next activity here. All right, one more. Okay. Okay, and one more line I have over here so that you can see it. All right, that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to rinse that off a little bit. I'm going to show you what color is my water turning yellow, right? Okay, and then I have a napkin here just to brush it off. Okay, so I have my yellow done. Now let's see, maybe I'll use my color red to go around my word kaboom, okay? So I'm gonna just take my brush and I'm just gonna go kind of around this way. You can really do it however you like. Remember, your art is your own unique art, and nobody but you can do that kind of art, so that's very special. You can get ideas from other people, but when you actually do your art, that's your own art. That only belongs to you. All right, so I'm gonna go along, and I have to say this is really fun, and it is definitely reminding me of a hot dog, which I may have to have for lunch if I have any. Now you can take a little bit more time than I am. I'm not taking a lot of time because I want to do this pretty quickly. So now if I get my red paint into the yellow, what color am I going to make? Well, orange. I think this is a pretty strong red, so it didn't make orange. But after I do this project, it's always fun to do color mixing, and I could mix a few of that. I'm not going to do it now because I want to do it quickly. So I'm going to put my red in there. Oh, it kind of looks like our tomato juice we made the other day, doesn't it? All right, now I'm going to wipe it off. Wipe it off. Whoops. And then the little brush came off. That was maybe a little bit too strong of wiping. All right, so now I have one more color. What's my last color I need? The blue. Just like, I don't know if you can see the room I'm in, but it is painted blue because I have to say blue is probably one of my favorite colors, and the whole room is like a really pretty dark blue. All right, so now, well, I don't really want to paint over the word because I want to be able to see the word. I guess I could paint it with yellow, but I really want to see the word. So I'm going to save the blue for this part here. Oh, and here comes my kitty cat again. They are very interested when I start painting here. He's just going to watch from the sidelines. So I can do it. I can go all the way over. Ooh, if I mix the blue and the red, I'm going to get what color? Purple. And I'm going to just put that right there. Maybe I'll paint one more down here, and I hope you can see that. I'll show you again so you can see. Kaboom. Okay, and then I would just keep going on and on and on. Oh, and I did mix a little bit of the blue and the red there, and I do see that I have purple. So I would finish that later, and then maybe I could do, like, I could take the blue, and this is a small little brush. I wouldn't want to use a big brush to make the dots. Remember when we were making the dots? And I could make some little dots right there, because remember, he wanted his pictures to kind of look like the comic strips. And sometimes, if you look really closely at those kind of pictures, they have these tiny little dots. So I could make little dots all over, or I could wait till it's completely dry, and I could do it with my black marker. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside and let it dry. See if my kitty cat likes it. I think he does. And then I'm going to show you a couple other things. Do you remember when we did our pumpkin picture? And look, if you look closely again, you can see all the little dots. Remember how much fun you had doing that? And one time we made another picture with dots, I think with a pencil and an eraser, and we used the back of the eraser. That would be a good thing to make. You could dip the pencil, the top of the pencil, into it and do the dots this way. Here is a picture again of, here, maybe I'll put this thing right behind it. Maybe not that one, because this is Miss Carla's book, and I don't want to get paint on the back. But remember this picture that I showed you yesterday, and if you look really, really closely, you can see all the little tiny dots. Some are blue dots, some are red. Some are a little lighter, like right here, and then he goes a little bit darker. Okay. And then when I was in college, I made a dot picture when I took an art course. And I'm not much of a painter, so I didn't have much experience in painting, but it was really fun to do the dots, and anyone can do them. That's what I like about dots. You can see how I dotted I think that was, well, it looks like I think it was a peach. I don't think it was an apple. I don't know any orange apples there. So I decided to make a couple of dot paintings for you guys, and I thought about some of the things that you guys like to draw. Okay, you like to draw hearts, boats. A lot of you really like boats. We have our friend Connor started drawing boats, and then a lot of you started drawing boats after he did. This is called the SS Corvid-19, just like I have a flower that I named after that. A lot of you like to draw hearts, so I just made a heart, or whatever you want, and then I chose different colors, and I put dots in there. And that's something that all of you can do, probably even without the help of your parents, right? Because the dot is just like a little circle. And then a lot of you like to make this kind of a picture, the rainbow. So I made a dot rainbow. You can make a dot anything, okay? You can take any object and you can just outline it a little bit. I didn't do it here, but I could have. And then you just fill it in with little dots, okay? So I think that's the end. Let me check and make sure. Yeah, I think that's the end of the painting with Roy Lichtenstein. And then on Thursday, we will color. If you have coloring crayons or colored pencils for Thursday, and a black and white photo of yourself, kind of like what Miss Carla made yesterday. She painted hers, or you can use crayons, and remember you did 4 of hers for Andy Warhol. This time we're going to do Frida Kahlo, and we're going to get that picture and we're going to decorate it. And if you have any little flowers, you can do fake flowers and glue them on. That would be great too. Okay, I hope you had fun. I did bring out a puppet. Let's see if my kitty cat likes this puppet. Do you remember what his name is? What was your name again? Stinky. His name is Stinky. Let's see if the kitty cat likes Stinky. I don't know if you can see the kitty cat. Kind of interested, but he isn't stinky, isn't he? It's a nice long tail and a big stripe. So you could even paint a picture of Stinky, and then you could just leave it like you could do his outline, and then put all sorts of little dots in there. Okay, I can't wait to see you guys soon, and then see what your favorite art is, and maybe when we meet on Thursday, when I do the, well, we're not going to meet, but when on Friday, I can see if maybe you've done a Roy Lichtenstein or a Frida Kahlo, or maybe you've just done a dot painting. Let's see if Stinky likes my rainbow. Oh, doesn't he look nice next to the rainbow? Stinky, what's your favorite color? Let's see. His favorite color is red. He likes red. Yay. Yay. Okay, so ladybugs, thank you for coming. And I'll see you guys in just maybe about a half an hour to do our fun circle time with Miss Carla. All right, thank you so much. Bye bye. I'm gonna try to get out of here without overturning the paint here. I have to kind of crawl like that. Oops.